Morcellators are devices that doctors are able to use to break up tissue within the human body. And what we're pursuing is where those tissues have involved cancer cells that have been spread around the uterine area and that either embed and create cancer or grow cancer, or take existing cancer and upstage it. Being involved in the lawsuit is easy if you're in the unfortunate position of having suffered the injury. If you've been injured, then you just give us a call, shoot us an email, find us online, and we'll ask you a short series of questions that'll help us initially evaluate your case. If your case meets our criteria, then we'll send you a contract and some medical authorizations to sign. You fill that stuff out, send it back to us. We're going to order your records to make sure that your understanding and our understanding of the case is correct. And if it is, then we handle it from there and we begin the process of moving towards resolution in your case. Have medical records or documents related to your case, we're certainly going to ask you to send those to us, but most of our clients don't have the medical records or other records related to their injuries, and that's normal. What we are going to ask you to do is fill out an authorization, or 2 or 3, that will allow us to get the records, and then that way we get a full set of records from the doctor or the hospital, and we can go through those and make sure we've got everything. Your involvement in the case will be much less than mine, and hopefully it's something that's not troublesome. For most of our folks, they find that there are really 3 or 4 time-consuming aspects of the case, and they don't all apply to every case, but generally here's what they are. First, there's time involved right at the beginning of the case, and that involves talking to one of my investigators on the phone. It involves filling out the contract and the authorizations and providing any records or documentation that you may have. The second phase of really significant client involvement comes after the case is filed, when we have to go through the process of written discovery. That's questions that come from the defendants that ask about you and your history, your experience, your injury, that we have to answer. And our clients do that with our help most of the time. Ultimately, you get to write the answers that tell your story, and that can take anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days. We'll work with you on that. For most folks, it's just a couple of hours and it happens over the phone and is pretty informal. Sometimes it happens by email, and that way it's time-consuming but as easy as possible. The next real involvement from a client that's time-consuming comes if your deposition is requested. Typically, the deposition of a client will last several hours. Most of the time, that all happens in one day. Sometimes we split it up and do a few hours one day and a few hours the next day. And then what we'll always do is meet with you ahead of time to prepare. So that commitment is a 2 to 3 day commitment. We come to you in person to handle that, and usually that's the most time-consuming part of your case. We never ask our clients for money. We do everything on a contingency fee basis, which means 2 things. We only get paid if we get you money. The other thing it means is we front all the expenses and the costs for pursuing the case. The short answer is we don't know how long the case is going to take. Drug and device litigation like this usually lasts 2 to 3 years. Sometimes it's faster than that, sometimes it's longer than that. Every once in a while it's much longer than that. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. I can tell you we'll give you an update anytime you want one. We'll send out information periodically, but certainly you can always call or email us to find out exactly what's going on. Anytime you have questions, you should let us know. The 2 best ways to do that are by calling us or by shooting us an email, and our general policy is to respond to everything within 24 hours. Occasionally we can't do that, and if we can't, we'll do it as soon as we can. But most of the time, if we can't get to it right when it comes in, then we'll certainly do it within 24 hours.